Mickalene Thomas is a queer African-American artist, and she's the toast of the jet set elite. She's a modern, living legend. Born in Camden, New Jersey, Mickalene lives in Brooklyn, New York, where she works from, specializing in mixed media collage, painting and photography. Her work focuses on popular culture and beauty through the eyes of Black women and women of color. She uses rhinestones a lot. In fact, they're her signature material, and they also serve as a symbol of femininity. Mickalene and her brother were raised by their single mother, who raised them as Buddhist vegetarians. Creativity was always encouraged, but money was always tight. Her mum fell into drugs with her new boyfriend, and even though he was a kind person, he was also a drug dealer. Mickalene's mum became an addict, and when Mickalene was a teenager, Eugene, the new stepdad, was arrested and imprisoned on drug charges, so she moved in with her grandmother. Mickalene knew she was queer from a young age, but she couldn't exactly tell her family. She had a fear of coming out because many family members were homophobic. She said, "I had a gay uncle who got treated so horribly." Rather than risk being ostracized by her own family while she was still coming to terms with her sexuality, Mickalene moved to Portland in Oregon. This was in the 90s, not long after high school. "I'm leaving her roots," she said. "To leave was effortless. There was no anchor holding me there." As she got older, Mickalene started dating. After a residency at the Studio Museum in Harlem, she found a muse in her girlfriend at the time, Maya. "It was another beautiful Black body to think about," she recalled. Maya was very reserved, and she was beautiful, so it was very easy. Now, when it comes to art, Mickalene's work always has a striking edge that challenges the status quo. So in 2007, she created A Little Taste Outside of Love. It featured Maya, her lover, staring over her shoulder and looking directly at the viewer. It was Mickalene's direct answer to famous European nudes like Venus of Urbino by Titan, the Italian Renaissance painter, and Grand Odalisque, a piece by the neoclassicist painter Ingres. She said it was always a political statement. People need to come in contact with this body, be face to face with it. It's the ultimate sense of validation and the claiming of space. Her relationship with Maya ended, but Mickalene continued to paint her from photographs she'd already taken. And how did Maya feel about that, and being her muse for all those years? Mickalene said, "Maybe it did create some tension between us. You hope they see themselves the way you see them." Now, for most of the time in between, Mickalene found other models. Then one summer, everything changed. Mickalene met Raquel Chevremont in Paris in the summer of 2011. That year, Mickalene had taken up residency at Claude Monet's estate in Gimini, while Raquel was renting a flat in Paris. Now, they had been moving in the same circles for years. In fact, at the time, Raquel was already a collector of Mickalene's art pieces, and she was even a trustee on the board for the Studio Museum in Harlem, where Mickalene's work had been shown. It was while trying to plan a group dinner with fellow artists that things worked out in their favor, and it ended up just being the two of them. After that, Mickalene proposed to Raquel one New Year's Eve with 2 diamond rings, one for everyday wear and one for special occasions. Together, the couple founded De Femme Noire, which was aimed at raising the profile of artists of color. Raquel is an avid art collector. Her collection stands at around 80 works by different artists, including Lynette Yadom-Boakye, Deborah Roberts, and Toyin Oji Odetola. Her most recent gig was as a consultant on the set decoration of the Netflix film Leave the World Behind. She's been a model, and most recently she walked in Bathsheba Hayes' New York Fashion Week show. Now, back in the day, Mickalene and Raquel split their time between New York and Connecticut, with their 3 kids from previous marriages. Mickalene's mother's health started to decline. Mickalene backed off from photographing her. She had previously been a muse for Mickalene as well, until one day her mother cried, telling her, "I think you don't photograph me because I'm not beautiful." In actuality, Mickalene said she didn't want her mum to feel exploited as her body was beginning to deteriorate with arthritis. But she picked up on her mother's sense of rejection and she felt terrible. She said, "I was like, this is so effed up. And here I am talking about beauty." It was while going with her mother to dialysis that she started to film their conversations. She turned this into a video portrait. "Happy birthday to a beautiful woman, a portrait of my mother." Her mum made it to the film's premiere in September 2012, but died 2 months later. How was Mickalene's work received in the world? Well, her painting of Naomi Campbell in 2013 sold at Sotheby's for $700,000. That's nearly 4 times its estimate. Ian Altavere, a curator of modern and contemporary art at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, said that Mickalene's work may be steeped in the history of painting and portraiture, yet there is an accessibility to everything that she does. The colors, the compositions, the glitter. And at her art installation Better Days in Switzerland, Solange Knowles performed, and Mickalene became the toast of the art world's jet set. Her inspiration comes from multiple artistic cultural influences throughout Western art history, in particular the early modernists such as Ingres, Picasso, Matisse, Manet, and Bearden. Although she refers to a number of different time periods, her work often refers to the 60s and the 80s. Now, this was a significant time because there was a lot of social and political conflict and change happening. The Civil Rights Movement, the Black is Beautiful movement, and the second wave of feminism, during which many women, particularly African American women, rejected and redefined traditional standards of beauty. Now, her work is also heavily influenced by pop culture as well as pop art. And her work also alludes to certain time periods, for example, 19th century French painting, 19th century France, to 1970s blaxploitation films. Unfortunately, Raquel and Mickalene separated about 2 years ago. Raquel was going to be on The Real Housewives of New York, but by the time the promo was released, the couple had already broken up. It's unfortunate. They were a great power couple, but Mickalene Thomas, we salute you. Like and follow for more.